It is 30th of June 2023. A very great morning to you watching Westnile Television, wherever you're catching the show live from. You're most welcome. My name is Denis Oringi and it is KOKOLIRIKO Live on Westnile Television. We are coming to you live from the broadcast house of the television here on plot 39A, Weatherhead Park Lane here in Arua City, Western Sub-Region. And you have to know that today is the last day of the month of June and tomorrow we shall be starting 1st of July. And so we thank God for his protection throughout the 30 days that we have been in this month of June. And so for those who could not really make it, we pray that may the Lord forgive them and call them, the eternal rest right there. I'm talking about those who have gone to be with the Lord, as we always say. And for those who are in the hospitals, we pray for you as well, that may you get well soon so that the month of July becomes a fruitful month for you as you look forward to getting whatever you want to get for yourself and your family members. And they know that we are done with the half of the month. And so we are starting the month that will reduce it to December. And so for those who have set their goals to be achieved, we already getting into the 7th month of this year 2023. If you have not achieved, I have to tell you that you still have some months ahead of us, and so you will be able to plan accordingly to see how you can really achieve. And I know when a year starts, people really have much ambitions to really succeed in, I have to tell you that it becomes a little bit challenging because of economic situation. You've planned maybe to get this amount of money and things have not worked out for you. Never give up. Try. Keep trying. Remember where you have come from and where you are. It means that it requires devotion for you to succeed. And so we pray for you to succeed, and also pray for me to succeed too, because they always say that if you pray for a colleague and a colleague prays for you, you succeed in life. And so we are here to continue with our life amid challenges, and we cannot get away from these challenges because God says that we should really work hard for us to achieve in life. And He is here to work hard, and I am here also to work hard, and also to work hard as well. And so I wish those who are traveling to different places journey mercies. I know Friday like this, people who would love to move from one place to another, those who have families in Kampala and those who have families in Arua, and you're working in Kampala and you want to come and see your family members, I wish you well as you travel back in different places. For a case in point, that is the people of Ragem in Nebi, and also the well wishers and also friends of Lady Justice Stella Arasha Moko. We pray that may the Lord comfort you as you continue to mourn for your dear one right there. And her burial date has not yet been communicated. We shall be able to dive into that and know whether the burial date has been communicated already and when exactly she will be buried. And some people were saying tentatively she might be buried tomorrow, but up to this particular time, I have not heard yet whether the body has left the Kampala for Nebi. And so these are some of the things that we shall keep you updated. And also you have to know that the Archbishop of the Church of Uganda, that is Kazimba, will be coming to Westnile. They're visiting the two dioceses that we do have in Westnile, the Anglican diocese, the Diocese of Nebi, and also Madi Westnile Diocese. And so as I talk right now, I think he should be on his way coming to Nebi Diocese according to the tentative program that I was able to receive. Today they will be able to have what we call a dinner at Goli, that is a cathedral right there. And then tomorrow he will be praying with the Christians of Okoro Archdeaconry, that is in Zombo at War Okemo right there. And so that is a brief one that I can really give you. Meanwhile, Madi Westnile Diocese has also come out with a tentative program for the visit of the Archbishop of the Church of Uganda, and I will be able to dive into that later on. But for now, we have some local stories for you. For those who missed the Nilecast yesterday, or maybe you started watching it a little bit late because you were taken up, I'm here to make summary of what transpired during the Nilecast, the news hour of Westnile Television that comes away every every day, Monday to Monday at exactly 7 p.m. with Christine Okumuringa right there. Meanwhile, the show starts 7 up to 9 every Monday through Friday, and today happened to be a Friday, and it is a free Friday for me, and I always bring a lot of issues to your attention and make some insights into those issues that you need to know in our society. But before that, let's start with this story from Koboko, where 5 goats have said to have been aborted from a weed known by locals as Garamba that has invaded Koboko municipality in the past weeks. According to locals, does not only affect livestock but also human beings once in contact with. Frederick Dramadri has more on this. Let's have more on this story.
Leaders in Koboko municipality are calling for the intervention of researchers following the invasion of a new species of weeds, local known as the garampa, that is threatening livestock and humans in the area, whose spillovers have been witnessed in other districts of Westnile region. The weed that is feared to have aborted goats, inflicted wounds on humans, and caused economic challenges as well as retarded the quality of production in farmlands, only takes 2 months for its growth. Sandga Boniface, a livestock farmer in Koboko North Division, testifies that 5 of his goats have given birth to premature kids that eventually died after realizing that the goats had consumed the weed.
Goats began premature birth. When I started investigating, I got from friends, from many people who have also experienced. They asked me whether I have this plant around my compound. I confirmed I do have, said exactly that's the problem. You observe, if your goats are feeding on this, you observe when they are pregnant what will happen. And indeed, I started observing that the normal goats, those that are not pregnant, can eat and they are normal. But the pregnant ones, once they have eaten this particular plant, they don't give birth to mature kids. They give birth to premature kids. So now that was when I picked interest in knowing more about the dangers of this plant.
It appears that little has been known by members of the public about the weed that grows at knee level and starts flowering just in 2 months, presenting the flowers with white colors. In its characteristics, they grow in a community. Aletiru Rose, one of the farmers in Koboko West Division, says she has no knowledge about the negative impacts of the plant, though she has seen it one of the usual weeds in the garden.
I don't think whether it's bad or it's what. And for us, it comes alone. And when you dig, you harvest it, and it gives the soil became fertile. So for the others, I didn't know something about it.
Dr. Sanya Wilson, the mayor of Koboko municipality, says the financial implications of the weed is high and retards farmers' morale to venture into agriculture as well as affects the beautification of the town. He calls upon researchers to intervene into understanding the weed so as to come up with potential remedies to guide stakeholders.
Which is famously called the Garamba. This weed has invaded West Nile, Koboko district. This weed is threatening not only the farmers, it is threatening livestock, it is threatening the human beings. This weed, when you pass near it and when it pricks you, you will feel pain, eventually you get a scar. And even the flowers, when it's pollinating, as you move through it, you feel the body itching with this. And where it has grown, you cannot plant anything. It's all over. We have tried to uproot. When you uproot, actually the more you uproot it, the more you spread it. So we don't know what can be done. So this has become a threat for us. Today, I even had to go and put money, around 10 million shillings, to remove all the grass in the mayor's garden to enable us plant more grass and beautify the mayor's garden because it has been invaded by this weed.
Koboko Municipal Agricultural Officer Kizito Moki encouraged farmers to seek advice from the technical personnel in their respective places, including divisions, sub-counties or districts, in order for them to be guided.
We can't really confirm that technically. I don't think and it cannot support. There could the causes that the farmers are misinterpreting. We have veterinary officers around. The municipality to have one assistant livestock husbandry, animal husbandry officer. We also have our neighborhood here. We have district veterinary officer and also related veterinary staff, so they can always report these cases to such technical people for proper help.
This weed has spread to different parts of Westnile region, especially in the districts of Koboko, Maracha, Koboko Municipality, Terego, Arua, and Arua City. They mostly occupy spaces that have a lot of manure. Frederick Dramadri, Westnile TV, Nilecast.
All right, thank you very much, Frederick Dramadri, for that report about this particular weed that has been nicknamed to be Garamba that has invaded Koboko Municipality. I do not know whether in other districts that we have in this region, they also have this similar, weed in their locality. If you have identified any in your community, make sure that you report it to the responsible authorities so that they can be able to take, advanced measure to see how we can really join hands to fight this particular weed. Thanks a lot to the people of Koboko Municipality for being vigilant and also pro-environment and also reacting with the environment at the same time. It is important that you should be able to know the reason why your livestock are, aborting and also are dying. I have been told in Kuching sub-county, that is in Nebi district, people are losing their livestock to disease that is a little bit bizarre for them, and so we urge them to report those cases to the veterinary officer of Nebi district, so that they can also come out to investigate and find out what is it that is making the goats to die. And so let us be proactive and also react very fast when we have identified something that is unusual in our community, because it is through that we shall be able to really continue living well with the environment and also with ourselves as human beings right there. Away from that is Koboko district. Let's get to Nebi Diocese, where the Bishop of Nebi Anglican Diocese, Right Reverend Pons Ozele Awinjo, has revealed that Nebi Anglican Diocese is ready to receive Archbishop of the Church of Uganda, Province His Grace, Dr. Stephen Kazimba Mugalu, for his pastoral visit to West Nile region. The man of God will be welcomed at Pakwash Bridge in Pakwash Town Council on Friday, 30th June, today in the morning, and will have brief stopover at Uganda College of Commerce, Pakwash, before proceeding to St. Stephen's Cathedral, Goli. Alfred Jawoko reports more on this from Nebi Diocese.
The Bishop of Nebi Anglican Diocese, Right Reverend Pons Ozele Awinjo, has revealed that Nebi Anglican Diocese is ready to receive Archbishop, Church of Uganda Province, His Grace, Dr. Stephen Kazimba Mugalu, for his pastoral visit to West Nile region. While speaking to journalists at St. Stephen Cathedral, Goli, the bishop said, as a diocese, they will welcome the man of God at Pakwash Bridge in Pakwash Town Council tomorrow, Friday, in the morning, and they will have a brief stopover at Uganda College of Commerce, UCC Pakwash, before proceeding to St. Stephen's Cathedral, Goli. He added that the Archbishop will spend 7 days in Nebi Anglican Diocese, where he will start his visit with Okoro Archdeaconry on Saturday, 1st July 2023.
We are eagerly preparing to receive our Archbishop of the Province of the Church of Uganda, who is arriving tomorrow, Friday. And we are all at work. Everybody is excited, doing work so that we can have a clean place to receive His Grace, the Archbishop. I want to appeal to each and everybody that let us receive him warmly in West Nile, so that he knows that he has people who support the ministry God has put him in. Praise the Lord.
The Diocesan Secretary, Nebi Anglican Diocese, Reverend Christopher Ngi, said they have mobilized resources from each archdeaconry to support the pastoral visit.
The preparation is going on, and as I talk now, I will say we are about 90% prepared we are ready to receive His grace amidst us, and we shall receive him here at the diocesan headquarters. Then we will continue with the other program of visiting the archdeaconaries, beginning on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Then on Thursday, he will be going back.
Meanwhile, Violet Ngageno, a member of Mothers Union Nebi Anglican Diocese, says she will use the opportunity to receive blessings from the Archbishop upon her business.
On behalf of Nebi Diocese Christians, we are so happy and eagerly waiting to receive our Archbishop of the province of Church of Uganda to come to our diocese. We are so privileged to receive him, and that is why you can see us doing a lot of work here. We are trying to do some final touches on our compound because we really want our father, when he comes, he sits in a very good environment and so comfortable. The place where Jesus is should also be clean.
While the Archbishop will be in Nebi Anglican Diocese for his pastoral visit, Christians of Okoro Archdeaconry said they will welcome the Archbishop for his first visit to Nebi Anglican Diocese since he was enthroned as Archbishop on 28th August 2019, and he was elected to serve as the 9th Archbishop, Church of Uganda. Alfred Jawoko, Westnile TV, Nilecast.
All right, thank you very much, Alfred Jawoko, for that report. Preparations are on high gear. That is a Nebi Diocese right there in Goli, as you did see the persons of the bishop and also other, religious at that is a Nebi Diocese preparing, all at work. If you're welcoming a visitor, you have not to be dirty, and so you have to put everything in order, because the visitor should really come and appreciate where you stay and what you do. And so the Bishop of Nebi Diocese is ready to receive the Archbishop of the Church of Uganda province, that is His Grace, Stephen Kazima Bugalu, right there. So we wish him well, and so we believe that he will be able to land safely. That is at Pakwash Bridge, where he will be welcomed by pockets of Christians right there. And so Alfred Jawoko will be availing us with more information right about the visit of the Archbishop of the Church of Uganda to West Nile sub-region, and we have to know that after that he will proceed to that is Uganda College of Commerce, Pakwash, that is just along the bank of Albert Nile in Pakwash Town Council. And then later on he will proceed to that is St. Stephen's Cathedral, Goli headquarters right there for you. And so we wish him well, and we pray together with him as he journeyed to West Nile sub-region and pray with the Christians. And I believe that his coming to West Nile sub-region will be a big blessing to the Christians of the Anglican faith, and so we stand with them right there for you. Away from that, let's get to more stories this morning. Village health teams are fearing for their lives after being abandoned by LC1 and LC2 persons during an operation against open defecation in Ajia Sub-County, Arua District. And it was noted that the VHTs were picking finds of chickens and goats from defiant locals who refused to construct latrines, which in turn led to an open defecation from the community, an uproar that community brought up in one of the meetings. Let's have more on this story.
Village health teams are fearing for their lives after being abandoned by the LC1 and LC2 chairpersons during the operation against open defecation at Ajia Sub-County, Arua District, among numerous challenges they face in their dedicated field of service. During the sanitation and hygiene awareness meeting, Honorable Chandini Luigi, Secretary for Works and Social Services, cross-examined the village health teams grabbing people's chickens and goats during their operation.
Ada ikamba kipemu apa here ikani ipembuko otoguguko yogura ametundio biblera bera ane amangida amane tozode ane amangidi worodiniko ale Pai tao kanye kaliya mudia kalido ameshughuli da abazio ametumbia maybe amavutira ndida bera aparasi bombio yo amani kina kale kotia mangadara mangadara aya to ale to ale bendi girika bambusha mahala wale ndio mbizo kwadia bambusha girika bambusha manini
mo bitona me vake ba mingia bima vile sorona yose te aya akadema ndiri kuti abiwa mali ya
mia mbi
shilingi si
alifu mudriba shiba
aya da buta masana da rudima mata dengo
mina kududa mina ya para kako
fine roma dia
While reading the progress of operation, Village Health Team's representative Ajo Irene reported a slight improvement on latrine coverage, with 53 households having latrines out of 140 households in Ochi village.
Out of 114, we had 53 with the latrines. Then, out of 53, there are 28 which are incomplete.
28.
28 to 53, that is 81. Then the ones without latrine, that is 33. Without latrines are 33. To come to hand washing facility, there were only 10 out of 114 who had a hand washing facility. Then without hand washing facility are 104.
Secretary for Works and Technical Services Honorable Chandini Luigi thanked the residents of Ajah sub-county for coming up with their own ordinances to penalize people who refuse to construct pit latrines, and appealed to the other sub-counties of Arua district to embrace the campaign against open defecation by constructing pit latrines at every household so that they can benefit from the water expansion programs.
In the whole of Arua district local government of 4 sub-counties, Ajah, by the time when we are doing planning, our data indicated that Ajah had a 3% latrine coverage, which was the lowest in the district. Arivo had a 13%, Logri had a 48%, then Ivora had a 62%. So based on this, we now have a deliberative program to sensitize communities about the importance of latrine. We have taken 3 villages in Ajah sub-county, I mean 5 villages in Ajah sub-county. Out of these villages we have selected, we are now enforcing latrine coverages. And I'm grateful in Ombokoro, Ombizoko, Oyeko, Ombamba, and the Ochi, the lateral coverage is now increasing. Despite rain as a challenge, but many people are now sinking their latrines. Others have newly constructed their latrines.
Recent statistics show that Ajah sub-county, with a population of close to 48,000 people and 12,000 households, only have 7,000 households that have latrines and 5,000 households do not have latrines. Osuta Yusuf and Dokumiringa Christine for Westnile Television, Nowcast.
All right, thank you very much, Christian, together with Dosuta, for that report right there. Open defecation is something that all of us, we need to join our hands to fight, because we cannot allow to live in a society where people still just openly, they just run and then they squat and then they do poo-poo. How do you feel when you are doing open defecation? And are you aware that somebody can see from afar with the deforestation that we have really caused to our environment? If you go for open defecation, don't think that nobody's seeing you, and don't pretend that you're hiding behind that small tree that you're defecating and you will be safe. Let me tell you a story. It is a real story, because somebody told me that there's a difference between history and story. And so let me tell you something that happened. There was a gentleman who went to attend a funeral in one of the places that we have here in West Nile. And in that area, we don't have the number of latrines were very few then. And so this gentleman, who was smartly dressed, had to go to the bush defecate. And so he had to clear his ground where he could really, comfortably squat to defecate. Little did he know that his feces was just on a timed, grass. And so little did he know that after he had finished defecating, as he was moving now, the grass that is stepped on with his, right leg had to release the bullet, which was his feces, and on his, smart coat. And so when he went to the public and to sit, each and every person was running away from him. And he was asking, what is the problem? They told him, you have feces behind you. And so this gentleman, after realizing that there was a feces, and he had to really disappear from the public. And so he was embarrassed because he went and defecated in the bush. And so for those who are defecating in the bush, who are doing open defecation, you have to know that there are risks that are associated with that kind of behavior. It's not a good behavior. You cannot do that in this contemporary society that we're living in now. 37 years, almost 7 in power, and you still, run to the bush to defecate, you have to be caned. I think those chicken that the VSTs are picking from those who do not want to have latrine, those chicken, they're just, I think, that they are doing for them favor. In other words, they should be arrested and jailed, because how can you fail to have a latrine at your home? In all these 37 years that NRM has been in power, and sensitizing you, even creating that portfolio for the village health themes, and you still go, to the bush to defecate. Now, what is that environment like, and what is that community like? I'm trying to imagine. Now, why do we allow such to happen? And we just also side with those who don't have latrines, and we also associate with them in our trading centers, also in our villages. Those are people who should be, disbarred from, staying in such community. And let all of us join hands together to see how we can really effect this properly in our community. Whoever is not having latrine, you have to be punished. And not just any latrine, but the latrine has to be proper. Go to some homes and you see the kind of latrine that we have in that home. Why do we pay least attention to that is the latrine? Remember, that is the house that is supposed to keep whatever we consume. And you have the latrine in a scattered manner, in El Cascleta, situation. You find the roof is like falling, and then the door is not there. You have to use your hands, and when you're defecating, and the latrine door is not there, and somebody is coming, you have to, push your hand out so that somebody can really see that you're there. And when you're pushing, this is the practical thing that you have to do. When you're pushing feces, you will never put your hand straight. You have to bring your hand back. And so in that process that you're pushing and you bring your hand back, you know what will happen to you? Somebody will just come abruptly and get you when you have not really covered yourself. And so it becomes embarrassing. And so let us not embarrass ourselves by defecating in the bush or doing the open defecation. What we have to do is let us construct our latrines proper. And if you go to that latrine that is properly constructed, you even enjoy defecating. You don't defecate as if somebody is chasing you. You just take it comfortably. And so for those who don't have the comfortable latrines or toilets at your home, this is what I can really tell you. And also those who are fond of writing their names using feces on the walls, let me warn you this morning, it's not a good practice. It's quite unfortunate that those who went to school are the ones behaving like that. And unlike those who went to the school. And so it's quite unfortunate that the educated one go to the latrine, go to toilet, and they write their names using feces. And go to the walls of the latrines, so the toilets that we do have where educated people go to, you find feces all over the wall. What do you do with the feces, and why do you smear feces on the wall? Why don't you be executive? Why don't you be a person who has gone to school and knows that this is wrong? Why do you write your names using feces on the wall? Sometimes I feel like not even defecating in some of the toilets and latrines when I see feces all over the walls. So I went to one of the district headquarters here in West Nile, and I was embarrassed to see such act taking place, people smearing walls with feces like children. And I was really disturbed by such kind of act. And then I ask myself, do we have those who went to school, or we have those who went to the school who are working here at this district headquarters, that we have people who still smear the walls with feces? It's quite unfortunate. If you're one of those who are found of doing that, please desist from that, because it is not a good practice. That shows backwardness in you. That shows you are not civilized, you know. So you have to be civilized the way you behave. And so don't put on nice suits and then you go to the latrine and then you smear the wall with the feces. It's quite unfortunate right there for you. It's not good. Remember, somebody will come from somewhere and then say, do we have people who went to school, or we have people who went to the school working in this district headquarters? This should not really happen in some of these corporate institutions that we do have. Go to some of the corporate institutions and get to the walls of the latrine or of the toilet, and you find feces on the wall. What kind of behavior is that? I have never seen this, but I always get surprised when I go to these, big offices, and if I ask for, for their latrine, and I get inside there, and then I begin checking the wall, and I get feces all over, like students who are behaving, who are trying to get civilized. And we have people who are civilized already, and they pretend that they have PhD, they have a degree, diploma in what they studied. I think we need to offer also diploma in how to use latrine or toilet, so that they can go and do that as a course after maybe attaining the paper that somebody has really attained. Because it is really so embarrassing that a human being in 21st century still smear the walls with feces. It's quite unfortunate right there for you. All right, dear viewer, you have to know that 10 minutes past over 8 a.m. right here this morning. You have to know that the 5 Mbale City Council authorities have been arrested over corruption scandals. They include the Speaker of Mbale City Council, Maria Nambuya, Assistant City Health Officer Wandera Charles, Clerk to Council Annette Wambule, former Northern Division Town Clerk Martin Busiko, and Senior Human Resource Officer Higenye Abdu. These were arrested over corruption-related offenses, including setting low reserve prices for revenue collection contracts, leading to low revenue realization and frustrating the city's development and service delivery goals in Mbale City. It's quite unfortunate that we have the technical officers who are supposed to guide issues to do with development, and they connive with those that have been given the contract to collect local revenues in our cities. I think it is not a different case here also here in Arua. And there was a story sometimes back that the revenue collection in Arua City was below. And this has also appeared to be in Mbale City. And I think Minister of Finance and also Ministry of Local Government should really look into this matter. And if some audit need to be done in these cities and the municipalities and the town councils that we do have here in our country, Uganda. Let me tell you something. Uganda is not a poor country, as some people think. And you have to know that the financial year 2023-2024 budget reads at 52.7 trillion that is supposed to be mobilized. And you have to know that 29 trillion should come from the local revenue that is being collected by different local government units and entities and ministries and departments that we have in this country, Uganda. And if we have the technical officers conniving with the politicians to set what we call the low reserve prices for the revenue collection in these towns and cities, I have to tell you that as a country we are headed to a doom. And so what are we supposed to do? We need to call those technical people and the political leaders to order, so that they should really, do what is right and what is expected of them. And so that's something that I need to let you know. Dear viewer, this morning, I have to tell you that Arua City is receiving some drizzle. And so for those who would plan to get out, make sure that you carry yourself umbrella. Those who are in other parts of this country and you're receiving rains, and I know this season, it is a season of rain, and we have to be prepared always. So let's go for a break, and when we come back, we still have more for you, right? This is Friday, 30th of June, 2023, and it is the last day for the month of June. My name is Denis Oringi, and when I come back, I will be diving into what we have in the dailies this morning, looking at what are some of the stories making headlines in the Daily Monitor and in the New Vision. Before I get for you some of the sport highlights that you need to know right this morning. Good morning.
Westnile TV, lighting up the region.
Get more for less on Star Times this Easter season. Cartoon channel for best children entertainment. New global series. Local drama on Makula TV and football all around the world. Simply make weekly or monthly subscription and enjoy upgrade to the next bouquet. For classic or super bouquet customers, subscribe for a month and enjoy 5 days extra. Family time with Star Times. Star Times is regulated by UCC.
Yeah! Sadani Hype is the latest. And if you love it, take it down low, take it down low. Vibe we need. Yeah. Introducing Devi Dancer. Say shake your body. More on fire. Devi Dancer, yeah. What about that? Thank you for vibing with us. What's up? Hey. Break your body. So break your body. So break your body. Break your body. We separate. Break, 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 break your body.
Westnile TV, lighting up the region.
Get more for less on Star Times this Easter season. Cartoon channel for best children entertainment. New global series. Local drama on Makula TV and football all around the world. Simply make weekly or monthly subscription and enjoy upgrade to the next bouquet. For classic or super bouquet customers, subscribe for a month and enjoy 5 days extra. Family time with Star Times. Star Times is regulated by UCC.
Yeah! Sadani Hype is the latest. And if you love it, take it down low, take it down low. Vibe we need. Yeah. Introducing Devi Dancer. Say shake your body. More on fire. Devi Dancer, yeah. What about that? Thank you for vibing with us. What's up? Hey. Break your body. So break your body. So break your body. Break your body. We separate. Break, 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 break your body.
Westnile TV, lighting up the region.
Minutes past over 8 a.m. right on Westnile Television. Let's dive into some of the stories that we have in the Daily Monitor this morning and also the stories that we have in the New Vision. In the Daily Monitor, you have to know that Mbarara City Chairman, Chief Administrative Officer clash over local revenue. I have just been talking about issues to do with local revenue. It is a very serious matter, and I have to tell you that in Gulu District, the Secretary of Finance, that is none other than the councillor representing the people of one of the sub-counties, that is in Gulu District, they are at loggerhead with the district chairman, and so according to Burlington Pongwech, he says that he has resigned as Secretary of Finance. And what is the chairman looking from, why is the chairman following him up and down? And so it is a very big story and a very big issue in Gulu. I believe that will be solved, and the chairman will be able to openly speak out. And the other time when the chairman LC5 Gulu district was following the former Secretary of Finance, and the chairman was saying that he has the motorcycle of the district. And so since he has resigned as Secretary of Finance, he has to hand over the motorcycle to the newly appointed Secretary of Finance. And so Burlington Pongwech is saying, no, I cannot really, hand over to you, Chairman LC5. You're a politician. I have to hand over to the cow of the district, not to you, the LC5 chairperson. And so that is another issue in Gulu district. And so this one of Mbarara chairman, chief administrative officer clashing over local revenue is a very big story, and this will also be witnessed in other cities and districts that we have here in our country, Uganda. So Mbarara City District Chairman, Mbarara District Chairman, that is Didas Tabaru, and the outgoing chief administrative officer Edward Kasangara are locked in the wrangle over revenue collection. And so Tabaru accuses Kasangara of conniving with the Rubindi Ruhunda town council clerk to embezzle local revenue right there. And so Tabaru said he has since ordered a special audit, but the chief administrative officer has never effected it. And so Kasangara has been transferred to Rubirizi district, where he will start work on July 1st, is what you need to know. And Kasangara said there is no merit in the chairman's accusations. And so Kasangara said the matter is currently under investigation by the Inspectorate of Government. Collection of taxes is not done by the sub-county chief or town clerk. It is done by town agents. Hopefully, very soon, the IGG will give us the report. And the chairperson of the Public Accounts Committee for Mbarara District, Herbert Kamugisha, yesterday said Kasangara will still answer queries even after his exit from that is Mbarara District right there. Issues of local revenue collection. If you see the chairperson LC5 driving private cars, and he is constructing, and the chief administrative officer is also doing well, you have to know that the two are working well. I always say this, and I will continue to say, that the person who is supposed to supervise the district is the LC5 chairperson. In a district where the LC5 chairperson works well with the chief administrative officer, you have to know that those guys are doing well. In terms of local revenue, I have to tell, if a district fails to implement issues to do with service delivery, the blame should go to LC5 chairperson, because he is the head of the district. And so if the LC5 chairperson is at loggerhead with the chief administrative officer, you have to know that the problem is about the issues to do with the money here in our country, Uganda. And so that is what you need to know. Remember, the 2023-2024 financial year is going to be a tough one for government. It's going to be a tough one for ministries. It's going to be a tough one for departments and agencies of government, and it's going to be a tough one for local government that we do have. Away from that, Budo, rightful owner of land in question, says Minister, is what you need to know in regards to the land in Budo. And then 1.5 billion water project lies idle for 8 years. This is a very, disheartening story about 1.5 billion water project lying idle for about 8 years here in our country, Uganda. And we continue to advocate for service delivery, while the one that is being delivered, people are not using, and this, the services is really idle. And so residents and local leaders in Bugaya sub-county in the island of district of Buvuma are concerned about the shillings 1.5 billion water project, which has been lying idle for 8 years, is what you need to know. And so they said pipes were laid and taps distributed to different households and institutions, but in vain. And so the project, which was established in 2015, was to benefit more than 5,000 households in the 4 parishes of Buye, Zinga, Dwasi, and Dwasi B, including the 2 government-aided primary schools, Buyuba and Bugaya. And so the plant was designed to use solar energy to pump water from Lake Victoria into reservoirs at Mbuye villages. So the project was funded by the government on a quarterly basis for a period of 5 financial years. And according to John Serwanja, the Bugaya sub-county chairperson, resident only received some water at their taps when district officials visited the site ahead of the official launch in 2019. From 2019 up to date, nobody is receiving a drop of water from the water project right there. It's quite unfortunate that we continue to have such projects stalled here in our country, Uganda. Away from that, Masindi sub-county grapples with water scarcity is also another story that you need to know. And then Bali Council officials held over corruption is a story that I earlier on brought. And then Kasese parents asked government to rescue missing children is also another story. Remember, these children are suspected to be abducted by the suspected ADF rebels who attacked the school at that Lubriha Pondwe border in Kasese right there. And then government holds a crisis meeting over medical interns is also another story that you need to know. And then President reassures nation on safety amid Somalia and Kasese mistakes is also what you need to know from the from the Daily Monitor. And farmers decry fluctuating milk prices. Resident form group to curb power theft is another thing. And then 4 later councillors lock district offices over their allowances is the story that you need to know. And what is it about is what you need to understand. That 4 councillors in Lira have been arrested on allegation of locking up the district headquarters main gate in protest over non-payment of their allowances. The suspects who are currently detained at Lira Central Police Station include Dennis Owera of Itek Sub-County, Boni Okelo of Ayami Sub-County, Isaac Ojok of Ogweng Town Council, and Moses Oduno of Amach Town Council. And so the accused were protesting non-payment of their 6-month allowances for monitoring and fueling, amounting to 2.5 million each, when they were arrested on Thursday evening in an operation led by Lira City Police Commander, Assistant Superintendent of Police, Joseph Bakaleke. And so the 4 people I have taken are the ones I will entertain there. And so you can come tomorrow and give us any information that you know about this. That is according to ASP Bakaleke said, as he cautioned the arrestees against taking matters into their hands. And so Bakaleke had earlier on pleaded with the councillors to open the gate, but they didn't adhere. And so Charles Enanga, the council for Agali Sub-County, accused top Lira district authorities, including the chief administrative officer and the district council chairman, of for incompetence. And so quoting them, they say that they only get the money from revenue and the decisions here are made by only the district executive committee. These are people who are not informed. The district is being led by report cards, he told journalists on Thursday before his arrest. And so district is being led by a report card. What do they mean? And so people who have not gone to school who are incompetent or what? So they say that wrong people are left and the right ones are arrested. And so we have been talking to these people, and we have been requesting them for pay, but they have been adamant. Lira District Chairman Richard Cox Okelok Orik appeared to suggest that this has been due to an unprecedented shortfall in local revenue collection, which fell below the expected 3 billion as they estimated earlier on. And so issues of local revenue from Mbale to Lira, Lira to Mbarara. Oh, I have not heard from West Nile. We shall soon also be able to give you a breadth of information in regards to the collection of local revenue from these districts that we have here in our country, Uganda. And so people are excited, people are interested to know why government held a crisis meeting over medical interns. You have to know that the Ministries of Health and Finance yesterday held a crisis meeting to resolve issues surrounding the pending deployment and payment of medical interns. The meeting took place shortly after the Health Ministry's Permanent Secretary, Dr. Diana Trine, left an earlier engagement with the Parliament's Public Accounts Committee. And the committee had initially in their agenda planned to discuss the Auditor General's report on the health docket for the financial year ending today. And so, but the subject was dropped after the issue of medical interns came up. And the committee chairperson, Medan Segona, who is Bosiru County Member of Parliament, kicked off the discussion after asking Dr. Atrine the status of the interns. And in her response, she said a meeting had been scheduled over the issue of medical interns. And so the issue of interns, it remains what we call unresolved. And so Dr. Atrine said, adding chairman, even right now I was talking to my PA that we have a meeting with the Minister of Finance to continue discussing and engaging them to see how they can find some money so that we deploy interns. And so Finance Minister Matia Kasaja later confirmed that the meeting had indeed taken place but declined to divulge the details of the meeting right there for you. So dear viewer, let's go for a break, and when we come back, we shall be diving into what we have in the new vision today here on Westnile Television. My name is Denis Oringi, and it is KOKOLIRIKO Live on Westnile Television. Good morning.
Westnile TV, lighting up the region.
Get more for less on Star Times this Easter season. Cartoon channel for best children entertainment. New global series. Local drama on Makula TV and football all around the world. Simply make weekly or monthly subscription and enjoy upgrade to the next bouquet. For classic or super bouquet customers, subscribe for a month and enjoy 5 days extra. Family time with Star Times. Star Times is regulated by UCC.
Yeah! Sedani Hype is the latest. And if you love it, take it down low, take it down low. Vibe we need. Yeah. Introducing Devi Dancer. Say shake your body. More fire. Devi Dancer, yeah. What about that? Thank you for vibing with us. What's up? Hey! Break your body. So break your body. So break your body. Break your body. We separate. Break, 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 break your body.
Westnile TV, lighting up the region.
Get more for less on Star Times this Easter season. Cartoon channel for best children entertainment. New global series. Local drama on Makula TV and football all around the world. Simply make weekly or monthly subscription and enjoy upgrade to the next bouquet. For classic or super bouquet customers, subscribe for a month and enjoy 5 days extra. Family time with Star Times. Star Times is regulated by UCC.
Yeah! Sedani Hype is the latest. And if you love it, take it down low, take it down low. Vibe we need. Yeah. Introducing Devi Dancer. Say shake your body. More fire. Devi Dancer, yeah. What about that? Thank you for vibing with us. What's up? Hey! Break your body. So break your body. So break your body. Break your body. We separate. Break, 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 break your body.
Westnile TV, lighting up the region.
All right, I'll be back, and thank you very much for joining us right this morning. We are still bringing for you the information that you need to know, and you have to know that 26 minutes past hour of 8 a.m. right on Westnile Television. And so let's dive into what we have in the new vision this morning for you right there. And also, dear viewer, allow me to let you know that I have been informed that the body of the Lady Justice Stella Arash Amoko will be arriving today in Nebi, and so we shall keep you updated on the return of the remains of our own Stella Arash Amoko. With due respect, Justice Stella Arash Amoko, right there for you. And so that's what you need to know. And also you have to know that tomorrow the Minister of Energy and Minerals Development, that is Honorable Ruth Nankabira, will be visiting Yagak 3 to assess how far has the project gone in terms of the construction. And so we shall also keep you updated. All right, Justice Arash Amoko to be buried on Saturday is according to what the spokesperson of the judiciary has really said here. So the body will be returning back today. And so the Karimani assured the public that the burial will move on smoothly because both sides have been part of the new burial program, is what you need to know. And so the Supreme Court Judge Stella Arash Amoko will be buried on Saturday, July 1st at Jukia Hill Ward, Juba Village, in Nebi district. And so this was revealed by the judiciary's spokesperson Jameson Karimani at a press conference held yesterday at his office in Nakasero, and quoting him saying that following the court pronouncement about where the late Justice Stella Arash should be buried, which is Nebi district, the National Organizing Committee has resolved that the late judge will be buried on Saturday after Requiem Mass that will be held at Caritas ground at 10 a.m. That the Caritas ground is the ground of Nebi Catholic Diocese. And so since most of the activities had been held in Kampala, which included the special court sitting, the Requiem Mass, and the parliamentary sitting, the body will depart from Kampala from Nebi, for Nebi district on Friday. And so Karimani said on Friday there will be a special joint district council sitting in honor of late Arash by the district officials in West Nile. After the special sitting, the body will be taken to our home at the Juba village for a vigil. And so Karimani assured the public that the burial will move on smoothly because both sides have been part of the new burial program, is what you need to know. And so the judiciary had earlier issued a burial program for the judge's burial, but this was put on hold following a conflict over the burial site. And so the standoff was between the judge's relatives and children on one side and husband Ambassador James Idule Amoko on the other side, is what you need to know in regards to the burial of late Justice Stella Arash Amoko. May her soul rest in eternal peace, and we wish her well in her resting place that has been planned for her right there in Nebi at Dukia Hill, is what you need to know right there. And so, dear viewer, we still have more stories for you from that is the new vision this morning that you need to know. And so what you need to know is that government of the Republic of Uganda has taken over taken over the burial of Stella Arash Amoko in regards to offering him a state burial. That has been communicated already. And so tomorrow in Nebi there will be there are going to be very many dignitaries who will be, paying their last respect and tribute to that is Stella Arash Amoko. And you have to know also today is the reporting date for that is cancellation of all licenses and permits issued to individuals and companies to harvest timber from forest. On Thursday, June 29th, yesterday, some legislators pleaded with the government to revise the ban, saying it would promote poverty since many Ugandans had embraced tree farming as a source of income. And so in a response, Prime Minister Robin Anabanja defended the ban by telling Parliament that most of the companies that had been issued licenses to deal in timber had abused the agreement and had resorted to exporting timber out of the country without value addition. And so, quoting her, saying that there have been several factories, small factories, Chinese owned, and they are cutting trees indiscriminately. And our people are paid peanuts, and they are exporting timber raw. And so they are not adding value, and yet they are given licenses to add value so that they can come up with plywood and furniture to export, but they are taking products raw and exporting them out of the country. So enough is enough, according to the Nabanja. It is these factories that were stopped from any timber business. So the Prime Minister said among the districts that the practice is more common, including the one that she represents in Parliament as woman member of Parliament, is Kakumiro. And so we are saying enough is enough. We were given statistics that every day over 1,000 trees are cut, and they are much more centered in the districts of Mubende, Kakumiro, and Chibale. And so they are going to finish our forest cover. And so the president directed me to stop that practice, is what you need to know. And so if the vehicles leaving West Nile, leaving different parts of this country, you know, with the timbers, you have to know that government of the Republic of Uganda say that enough is enough. And so such vehicles need to be impounded, and we should not continue to have more trees being felled for timber here in our country, Uganda. Dear viewer, 32 minutes past over 8 a.m. right here on Westnile Television. Allow me to dive into what we have in the world of sports right this morning. Westnile Regional Athletics competition will be starting tomorrow at Barifa, that is Docas and Zikru Stadium, and it's going to be for 2 days. And so districts across West Nile will be able to send in their athletes for this regional competition. Now, it is from this regional competition that they will be able to get those that are going to represent West Nile region for the national athletics championship that will be taking place in the district that will be mentioned right there. So this time around, it is not about Arua City taking the athletes to represent Arua City. This time it is going to be Arua City has to send athletes that they were able to get to represent them, that is at the regional level, where the regional competition will be taking place tomorrow at the, that is Docas and Zikru Stadium here in Arua City at Barifa. And so for those who will be interested in really coming to share up with their athletes from different districts from West Nile, Arua City is open for you, and you can really join the athletes from different districts that we do have. And I only call upon the athletes to be disciplined. I know they will be mixed up at Muni NTC for accommodation, and let them they have to behave like students. They should not be behaving like those who have now tested things. So you have to behave like students so that you can really achieve in your endeavors that you are really currently undertaking. And so, dear viewer, with that, I think allow me to say, let me look into some of the stories making headlines in the world of sports right this morning that you need to know before I sign out of the studio this morning. Man United agreed deal for Mount is what you need to know, that Manchester United has agreed to sign that is Mount for you. So Manchester United have agreed a deal with the Chelsea to sign Mason Mount. United will pay an initial, that is the 55 million pounds, that is 69.4 million US dollar, with another 5 million pounds, that is 6.3 million US dollar in add-ons. And so sources said the bonuses due to Chelsea are strongly dependent on appearances and Mount's success at Old Trafford. And so sources added that with the Mount currently on holiday, his medical with the United is set to take place next week, is what you need to know. And so the two clubs have reached reached a compromise after Chelsea originally, demanded 70 million euros for the England international. United have seen bids of that is at 40 million pounds, that is 50 million pounds, and also 55 million rejected by Chelsea. So Mount, 24, was set to enter the final year of his contract at Stamford Bridge, and negotiations over a new bridge and negotiations over a new deal had collapsed. Had he stayed at Chelsea, he could have left a free agent, next summer, and so he will become manager Eric Ten Hag's first new signings of the summer. And Mount leaves at Chelsea having made 195 appearances for his bodyhood club, and then he was a part of the team which won the Champions League under Thomas Tuchel in 2021. And so that is a very nice, sport story that has come through. And so I think Manchester United fans are celebrating, and we wish them well in their celebrations since, Mason Mount has been signed to the club. And so this is going to leave a very big gap that is in Chelsea Football Club, as they will be bouncing back for the season 2023-2024 Premier League right there for you. And that is something I felt is important that I should be able to bring to your attention. In regards to the local stories here in the Rural City about that is Greenlight Stadium that causes some issues, I have to tell you that the stakeholders have been sitting to resolve on the matter, and I think they are still moving on with resolutions, and we shall be able to communicate to the resolution what was finally agreed. And remember, the other time, IEV Division had written a letter to the management of Ontoparaka Football Club about the takeover of the stadium by the city authority, that is IEV Division. And so it caused controversies, and people had to utter whatever they felt they would really say in regards to that. And so that is a brief that we can really bring to you. And so this is something I felt that I should be able to bring to your attention. And so for my people of Nebi, allow me to say this, Niaya Jolo Komliel Panyakwa Ruot Aligo Mary Stella Raj Ipakwash kum obeshi weko Kampala Shingasa Beach tin enene ni dupiradek pa dimirabu sel sawa ashel miko gweno edon gibe shi jolo kum ko njige dog bridge mipakwash ikinde misawa abusiel eno lembe mako bedu kar mingeyo gibi chungo manok iomach dog lesia mipakwash padri ruot man wonkom ota beach bimio wish manok piworo kum nyakwar ruot manongo podi okadho oshidongo inebi eno otie yik otie inebi Shingasa Boselo ruo ninda shell pa dumira biro oral fario ko piro wadek ket komliel pa nyamego Stella Arash Omoko yomi kabedo mikush eno kwenda maotie kane ai kudi ibong joro yik kom ibong kane ai kudi bo won kom mi yik ma eni enu lembe moma kabedo kare minyuto iri ma jadit oloya Patrick won kom pa Junam Development Forum re mobedo kare michwalo kwenda eni edong ko chan chin madit wadikra karashelo ko jopasho paliel Stella Arasha Moko manongo watie kane washia wekrut mungo mamio manegamo bedo kare bigwako tipo paliel Stella Arasha Moko ikabedo mikush weklembe cheke mobedo ngoko kare makadho maber wakwayo ni ruot mungu bedo kare mitimo wakisa iwecho matungtu mobedo kare miwechere kulembe matungtu mobedo kare mikadho wabiwashi ya wadikura karashelo urwe Shingasa Bosel yik panyamego Stella Aracha Moko maobe shibedo tap nebi ijukia nong enukite makwenda na uteka ni wokode wafoyo jawinja manjanen television isama kawoni watingo kare ni wafoch iri wafoi kani bedo kudwa shako sawa mawashaki program mwa KOKOLIRIKO program iko gweno mwabedo kare minyama ilebe madupa mano nyutiri lemba ngombo teka na temde igun kabedo matongtongi tegemi Westnile kudi ngomi Uganda man ko ngoma wakode edon kulembe mwabedo kare minyutho gedo mundo ni juma nyang do mundo ubedo kare minyutho ni juma nyang do mundo lemba ngombo teka na temre ngomi Uganda wikudu wil niya nyamego maotie jawikal maneno lem match karashelo kunyunyu mitengom minister Ruth Nankabirwa ubashibedo kare meshidhi nyagak urwo eno ni neno kitema gero nyagak mamirade kutieka ni woto ko wikudu wil nyagak mirade ubashibedo kare mimedo kormash ma jutieka ni poko itengomi Westnile matungtung ento kare mokadha ngesh gamento bedo gani sayo silingi maromo billion pierario ni medo kor tish maotieka ni timre inyagak mirade kama jube shibedo kare mi buku mash mi medo kero pamash makawoni Westnile tika nwang ento wikudu wil ne gamento tieku yik mineno ni Westnile bedo kar menwango mash ni ai kudi iko mash madit majutie ni vuku eneke kudi karuma neno ni ya kero pamash madano tieka ni tiku de Westnile bedo kar mi medere wa foyo juru tela matungtung luin ma obedo kar me luenyo itenge miro ngit mineno ni ya Westnile de jubedo kare mi paro pire itenge pamash manwango jubedo kukare menwango kudi jange madit ma jutie kadi vuku eno ketapa kudi ikaruma no ngatingo kare ni foi hu wat mongo bedo kare mimiki iri mugisa ko to teka ni shui itenge mi Westnile wodoki podu lembe shike mawati kani sende mawati kani wangu wadu kipodu koga kodi tie peko waneni ya wasao yori menwango selenge mewelo kodi ne Paris development model otie magameno dar ne shwalo wati ko selenge enine neno niya ya wanwango kodi wapido kodi ipodo mo dar ne lilo angeni dana mi padire karne roma yu mi pido pamba nying pamba nyo sende mbeme ngeo sende mi Paris development model no otie me romo bedo kar menwango ne welo kodi tekere itie yongu matong tong maju bedo kar me yero ni amako bedo kar menwango bero kudi kom yigma ene wa forma tekro mungu bedo kar mi yumugisa kabangaling no I work. Thank you very much, dear viewer. I am out of here. Catch me again next week on Monday for the same program, KOKOLIRIKO Live on Westnile Television. My name is Denis Oringi. You can as well follow me on my Twitter handle at OringiFrancis11, and that is my personal Twitter handle, Facebook Oringi Denis, and also do not forget to follow Westnile Television on different social media platforms that the television has got for you right there, so that we continue with some of the conversations that we always have right here. Good morning. Up next is going to be Lugwa Ramabi at exactly 9 a.m. with Maurice Eriku, as they will be discussing cultural issues in Lugbara Cultural Institution. And thank you very much for being with us. May the good Lord bless you. Good morning.